Yes, I have looked. This story's come out of Scoop, which is a lefty news outfit. And the lawyer is Max Harris, who is a Labour Party or Green Party soy boy. We'll try and get Max Harris on. So a bunch of woke lawyers getting down on Israel. And I suppose in the context of our government's reaction to Israel and our ridiculous sanctions against two admittedly unsavoury members of the Israeli cabinet, I suppose it's not surprising that those who don't like Jewish people and would continue to spread the oldest hatred in the world are taking some comfort for the way our government is responding. I'm wondering, though, are all at Parliament happy with the position we have taken around the burgeoning conflict in the Middle East or not? We're joined by someone who has spoken on these issues before. ACT MP Simon Court joins us by video link. Simon, welcome to the program. Lovely to have you with us.
Good morning, Sean, and good morning to the platform listeners.
All right. And people are watching you too. First morning live that people can watch this broadcast live via our website. Simon, do you think our government at an official level and our foreign affairs officials have got this right, the position we are taking in regards to Israel's acts of self-defence?
Well, this government absolutely believes that Israel has the right to defend itself from those who seek to attack it. We've seen Hezbollah and Hamas firing rockets for decades, Iran threatening Israel to destroy it, to eliminate it. Death to Israel, death to America. That's what the Iranian leadership has been chanting for decades, ever since 1979, when they came to power in a violent and bloody coup. And millions of Iranians have to live under that regime, keeping their heads bowed, women keeping their heads covered. If they dare to speak up, they're off to the Iranian version of the Gulag. So New Zealand stands with the people of Iran. We want to.
Then why did we impose sanctions against two members of the Israeli government who didn't intend to travel here and have not been convicted internationally of any crimes?
Well, that's for Foreign Minister Peters to respond to.
Well, no, you're a member of this government. You're an MP. You can respond to it, Mr. Court. You're allowed to.
I certainly can, Sean. But I'll just point out that you had Winston Peters on your show yesterday. I think what he explained is that he had advice from his officials. He took that advice that he should join in with the Sanctions party led by Norway and Canada and others. And so, that was the action that he has taken.
Did you agree with that action? If you had been the minister, would you have joined in with the virtue signalling?
Look, I certainly do stand by Winston Peters, the foreign minister.
So you would have?
Actions. Well, Sean, I might have sought different advice. I might have had different.
Oh, you don't get any choice. The officials are the officials.
Well, Sean, again, you know my position on Israel and why I've.
Then why won't you come out and say, I wouldn't, if I was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, have imposed those sanctions?
Well, because I don't have access to all the information that Winston Peters does. He's taken the decision, and in terms of being part of the government, that's a government position. But Sean, what I would say is that what's really unhelpful at this time when Israel is really struggling to maintain the support of countries that should be its allies, it has been unhelpful to see some members of their cabinet and government go out and talk about resettling other people's towns and cities, forcing Palestinians out of their homes. I mean, that's incredibly unhelpful. So I can only imagine that Foreign Minister
Peters... Do you know that the first rule of diplomacy is not to interfere in the domestic politics of people you have diplomatic relationships with?
Sean, I'm not the foreign minister. I'm the undersecretary.
Do you know that one of the first rules of diplomacy is that you do not interfere in the domestic political activities of people you have diplomatic relations with?
Look, I'm sure Foreign Minister Peters had some good advice.
Do you know, I'll ask the question a third time, Mr. Court, do you know that one of the first rules of diplomacy is that you do not interfere in the domestic political activities of people you have diplomatic relationships with?
Well, Sean, I can accept
Yes
that.
or no, Mr. Court?
Sean, I can accept that, but I'm not the foreign minister, and I
Okay,
have
you can
no
accept
insight
that. So
into what he was
aren't we
thinking.
interfering by passing judgment on members of another democracy's cabinet? Aren't we interfering in their domestic politics? How would we feel, and I asked Mr. Peters, how would he feel if he was travel banned because he doesn't accept the two-state solution put forward by the Maori Party, given their interpretation of the Treaty of Waitangi? How would we feel if he got a travel ban from Israel for that?
Well, Sean, I can't answer that.
You can actually,
question,
you just choose not to.
But, well, Sean, I just want to contrast it with some other things the New Zealand government has done. I mean, we've condemned this Parliament, the previous Parliament condemned Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We had diplomatic relations with Russia. We had an ambassador here. We've condemned what China has done to the Uyghur people in Xinjiang province. We have diplomatic relations with China. So there are many reasons why we would choose to speak out. But I would leave that with Winston Peters. I know he's been on your show. I just want to come back to the situation, though. I mean, right now we have Israel taking an action against its state, Iran, which has sworn to destroy it. The Israeli people are under attack. The Iranian people are under attack. The regime's enforcers are out on the streets trying to stop people celebrating the end of the regime. And I think New Zealanders' attention and support right now needs to be with our Iranian community, 10,000 odd Iranian people. They don't live here because they love living under that dictatorship. They love New Zealand's values, and they really, really need our support and thoughts right now.
It has been interesting, hasn't it, Simon, to watch the Arab world's reaction to what is happening, and surprising it would seem to me that many other Middle East states are kind of, without quite saying it, saying good on you, Israel.
Well, let's be clear. Jordan and Egypt reached a peace agreement, an enduring peace agreement with Menachem Begin, I think, or one of the Israeli prime ministers back in the late 1970s. They recognized the value of their relationship with Israel. Saudi Arabia has been participating in the Abraham Accord negotiations to try to reach a lasting and enduring peace settlement with Israel, so they can participate in business, cultural exchange, tourism. I think it's logical that Iran is seen as the major threat to stability in the Middle East. They've exported violence, they've exported terrorism through Hezbollah and Israel. They're supporting the Yemenis to attack shipping. And of course, they supported Hamas. They met with Hamas leadership in the days before their awful attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. So the Gulf states, the Middle East states, while they might publicly, for PR reasons say, oh, we would like Israel to stop what they're doing, I'm sure they're going home to their family members and friends and saying, thank God for Israel.
Yeah. What do you make of the 90 lawyers, 95 New Zealand lawyers, including 9 King's councils, who say we should be harder on Israel and have written some open letter? It's led by left-wing activist Max Harris. But is that helpful? Is that helpful that the tea towel wearers are still think that somehow they're on the right side of history?
Look, I think it's helpful so we know who they are and how unsound they are.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be clear. They might go to their to barbecues or wine and cheese nights with their friends, in the leafier suburbs on the weekends, and be able to say with pride, I signed that open letter. But let's be honest. Israel is, a country of 10 million people defending itself, at one point against 7 enemies attacking it in the past few years. They need our support. They're a little democracy. They were about to have a pride parade, Sean. Now, I know that you wouldn't be seen dead at a pride parade.
No, I would. I wouldn't mind. I think I may have, I may have wandered past one in the past life. I may have wandered through one. No problems.